We had a couple really good days. Yesterday was a huge day. Today was another big day, despite what the market was doing. So if we looked today, the stock market went down 400 points. So you'd think, okay, well, probably had a little bit of a loss, but not on this channel. We actually went up today about 4 to 5%. Overall, you look at our stock holdings over here. We have some red in here, but most of them are green. And we'll talk about that a little bit here. And Bitcoin is coming up close to 10,000, which is kind of crazy. And then the things that we don't have invested in, it's crazy. They went down for the most part. We see a lot more red than green. We'll take a look at winners and losers. It just shows that we've invested in the right ones, at least for today. I mean, I don't know how it works for a month, but for today it worked out pretty well. Winners that we see on the ones that we don't have. Helix Energy is up 10%. Take a look and see if anybody took a hit today too. A lot of the losses are very small, 2%. 6% might be the high. Is any stands out? No, they're pretty flat. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, nothing really. I think the big one is Latin American Airlines, and they're out of Brazil, and my old company is Ovio. So with that being said, we'll go to nothing really jumped out the page when it comes to today, that stuff we didn't own. Menlo went up 12.3%. Velocity went up 5. PVAC went up 9. Yuko went down a little bit, but that's all right. It jumped yesterday, so a little bit of a pullback. No big worry about that. It's on an upward trajectory. And Every, the ATM company in Vegas, went up 12%. ICAGI, which is the European airline conglomerate, went up 6%. So we had some good days today. So we'll take a look at kind of what's going on. And before we do that, just a reminder: we've been at the bottom. We've had the shark tooth decline. We've been at the bottom of the market. Yesterday was the first big upward move, and today went up again, even though the market went down. So there's signs that the stock market wants to go up, but there's just a lot of uncertainty. People had a lot of trauma, and there's just kind of question of how much business will open. So like if you have restaurants, how busy will they be? Will people be spending money? Where's the consumer confidence? If airlines are flying, what's their capacity? Are they making money? Casinos are opening. So we looked at, what was it? What was the one that we had that I looked at? It was, Braemar Resorts, the BHR. They had 3 casinos open yesterday and it exploded. So, we'll kind of see where that goes. But overall, I think we're on the back end of this flat side, and I think there's indications that we're going to be coming out of it. I'm not sure on the U shape if it's going to come up like this or if it's going to be more tapered. So, but either way, you want to make sure you get your stocks in. You want to get that cost basis down as low as possible. So we'll talk about what we did yesterday. Yesterday we have some limit orders that came through. So Yuko came through. We did at 22, and I did say that if it gets over 20, then we're going to put an order in, which we did. We put that in, and we lowered our cost basis from 33 to 31, so we're moving in the right direction. This used to be like 60 to 70% off our investment, our cost basis. Now we're down to 32, so we're moving in the right direction here. Every, which is the casino company, we had one come in at 475. We got that purchase down there, and guess what? It immediately jumped up to 5.5. So that paid off for us really nicely. And we did raise the cost basis a little bit. I think it was 4.5 before, now it's 4.57, but it doesn't really matter. We're really well capitalized in that one. The ones that didn't hit were Velocity Financial, and it's the one we just bought. We want to put in for another 250, and it got down to about 268 or so. So we're close to that one coming through. And Azul, which is a airline in Brazil, and we have it at 650, and it's down to 715. So we'll see if that one comes through. But overall, our upside for these 3 are really great. I'm not really concerned because that's just free money they're handing out to you. And I'll probably buy some more Every as we come forward. So Beyond that, we also had Dave and Buster's come through at 1160, and then we sold at 1160. It dropped right down to 1153. So we set that price point really well, and freed up some money for kind of what we want to do going forward. So we'll look at our candidates and updated basically the end of market prices. I'm not a really big guy in market. Like I'll probably look at it like maybe an hour before the stock market closes, just because there's a lot of movement on the front end and the back end, but not so much in the middle. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter too much. If I have a game plan ahead of the day, then I kind of know what I want to do, and there's not going to be any sudden movement that's really going to jump out and do anything, because everything's kind of a macro trend we're looking at. So our upside for you goes down to 1855. IVR is showing some life. Let's take a look at that one. Oh, we'll come back to that one. Let's go down to IVR. So this one I've been digging and trying to find any good news in the world on this one, because we looked at it and it was on an upward trend before Corona and then took off. Has a great name recognition as far as what their backing is, and then it looks like they have these spikes where it looks like it wants to jump a little bit, and like I think this is the trauma, right? Like this is where you believe it's temporary. It wants to go up, it's the boxer gets up, gets punched down again, goes down, gets up, jump down again, and I think this is where you start to see the less sharper curves, and I think that's the trauma in the market. So I've been trying to find some good news on it, any news, and I just can't. It's hard to find. The only stuff I find is pretty critical of them, so I've been staying away from that. So basically we go back to April 24th. It wanted to go up, and immediately it went right back down. But as of late, it hit 253, and then over the last week, we have this upward curve, where it's a very consistent upward curve. So, I'm kind of debating that. I might just take a stab with a small investment. I mean, we're sitting at 5.5 times upside, so it might be worth doing. But we have Velocity in there. Yuko's well capitalized. Azul. So we have the top four in there. And MFA, that was one that still has a good upside. I'm not seeing any news on it whatsoever. So, and as a 14% buy and a big hold. So we'll see. Although that doesn't always mean everything. So. Beyond that, we're kind of going down here, and basically our first green light is Norwegian, but we just sold that, and I'm not really eager to get into that right now. I kind of want to stay away from the cruise lines, not because they're bad investments. I think they'll go back. I just think they have a longer curve to go back. So, and I'm just freaking impatient. But above that, we have Redwood Trust, which I would totally buy. It has a 67% buy, but it's way over our cost basis. So it's $1.50 over. It's 431. Our cost base is 280. So I need more. So I did it lightly colored green there, just to say that I'm positive on it, but not like super positive on it. VVI is another one, and this one they have a price target at 42. It's about 2.5. A lot of people are saying really good things. It's not a full green light, but it's something worth looking at. So without some type of news or some macro trend going on, or just the price drops to a point where like this number moves up in this area, I'm not really going to look at it. So with that in mind, we really only have 4 items that are in blue, and the blue one again are meaning that we just don't have a whole lot of investment in those. And we want to invest in those if we can, kind of as a tiebreaker. Service, which is basically does accommodations and food service for West Texas Oil. We have it at 425. It's sitting at 612. So that's a big jump in our cost basis. So not quite ready to pull the trigger on that one yet. Two Harbors, again, has a clear. This one has a 1, we're low capitalized. 2, it's in the all clear and everybody loves buying it. It's a 78% buy rate. So, but it's, it's at 460 and versus a 310 cost basis. So not super eager to jump in that if I don't have to. And Braemar Resorts is just killing it for us, just smoking fools. I mean, we bought it at 125, which is the right time to buy it, and it's double that right now. So, but it's $1 a share, like $2 a share. Like you almost think, okay, maybe we'll jump into that at some point, but we'll see. That's kind of would be one of my exceptions to the rule. Then we look at other things. We look at the over-under, things that are under our cost basis. So we have these two in here. We have Yuko, which is going to build back up. So we're going in the right direction. And that's only $10. So as this price goes up, I mean, where I bought it is $390. If it goes up to 200 or 300, even that alone, it's going to just pay off big. Beyond that, we have United Airlines and ICAGI, which are airlines. I kind of want to stay away from them a little bit. Although United has, of all the airlines, they have kind of better things that people are saying about them. American, yeah, I'm kind of staying away from them right now. I was talking to somebody who works for them, and I was like, what's your thought on it? He's like, nope. So that was kind of one thing that I looked at. But as we go down, I'm not really going to buy anything on here unless it's Viking Therapeutics, because that's Brian's ATM. If you've been following these videos, you know what I mean. And we'll see, we might add something in there. So what I decided to do was even though it's down here a little bit, I was going to buy Menlo, because we're right at our cost basis roughly. It's 100% buy, it's a green light, and even at a target of 5, it's still sitting at 2.73. So, and their target price is right around where February 20th is. So I do like that. And being in the COVID era that we're in right now, any type of therapeutic company, biotech company is, those people are going to be flocked. They're probably getting tons of government grants, and all eyes are on them. So what we decided to do was I decided to basically I matched it at 165. So we have our current investment right here at 165 for 600 shares. I just basically said, okay, we'll double that. If it comes through, it's sitting at 183. If it doesn't come through, that's fine. I'm not in an eager place to do that. So with that being said, we'll just clear some of this out so we have this current and up to date. Oh, my Excel isn't. I will do that later. I got to close my Excel and reopen it. It's kind of dumb. All right, United is coming close. They're a good day or two away from hitting our limit sell, and then American's going to take longer. Like I said, those hit a little bit harder than United. So, and what's crazy is American has a lower upside than United. So, the winds are not blowing in the right direction for them. So, with that being said, our current projections of what we hold, we're pacing for about 195,000 of what we hold, another 11 for what we have for pending limit buys, puts us at about 206, 207 with a 510% return on it, 510% gain. So let's take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, the indices are generally up. This one's crazy. This one, the FTSE MIB, that's the Italian stock market. And it's funny, you look at their number, 16,800 versus ours, 2,400. Something's happening in Italy, which is not good, because that number is just massive. It's 3%. Most of the ones out here, you don't really see a 3%, although you do see some other ones. You see IBEX, which is the Spanish one, is at 2.5%, and then ATX, I'm not sure what that is. They're off 5%. But overall, yeah, I think we're looking good. We'll check it tomorrow. We'll check it later on tonight. But overall, it's only half a point, and we always beat the market anyway. So we'll kind of see what it does. So with that being said, tomorrow should be a decent day. We're kind of in a watch and hold. If we want to free up some money, what we might do. Gosh, the ones that are on here, if they want to, I might sacrifice ICAGI just because it's an airline and it hasn't made a whole lot yet. Because airlines, it just came above zero. So if I have to sell money tomorrow, if I have to sell something to free up some money to put in a different investment, that's probably going to be the one that we roll with. But I'm not touching the casino ones because those are about to explode. So we have El Dorado Resort, Red Rock Resorts, and these are my untouchables. I am not touching those. I probably will add to 2 at some point. Crestwood Equity is my leader in the clubhouse at 135. Braemar Resorts doubled their money. And PVAC is getting close to doubling it. It's my little boy. It's pretty good, man. Start at 2,000, have 3,800. So that's working its way in. And even Menlo we just bought, and it's up 10%. So we'll see what tomorrow holds. I'll see you guys tomorrow. To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website. that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.